Hello, welcome back to Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger. The date is November 17, 2020. You know, when I was growing up, my father was a very liberal person. He was really liberal minded when it came to us fighting in school. In fact, usually, if our teachers or principals would call my father and said, Johnny got in a fight in school today, or David got into a fight at school today, yada yada yada. If there was a report of a violent confrontation, the determined factor of if we got punished at home or not was one question. My dad didn't care who started the fight, who threw the first punch, who did this, who did that. He didn't care for any of that. My dad asked us every single time who won. And if we lost, then we would get punished. And if we won, he would say something like, well, next time, try not to get in a fight. But good job. But not everyone had liberal minded parents like I did. And I think a lot of people grow up, and even after they are adults, they hear a lot of things, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, yada yada yada, in the conflict. A lot of misinformation being passed around. And today I want to debunk three of these things. We'll start with the two easy one first, and then we'll go into the major topic of the day. First thing, first bit of misinformation that you will get, especially, I hate to say this because I am a big fan of Krav Maga. I train in Krav Maga. But one big misinformation you will get from a lot of Krav Maga school is you do not go to the ground. No matter what, you just don't go to the ground. Look, that's a nice sentiment, but when you consider that almost 90%, probably higher, but we're just saying almost 90% of all real fight, fist fight, street fight, bar fight, almost 90% end up going to the ground. This idea of we don't go to the ground, never go to the ground, is really silly. Okay? 400 pound of judo champion, 400 pound of Brazilian jiu-jitsu champion, 400 pound of whatever champion coming and grabbing the hold of you and throwing to the ground, you are going to the ground. Okay? If your whole thing is I can't go to the ground, I can't go to the ground, I'm not going to learn how to fight on the ground, I'm not going to go to the ground, no matter what. Well, you're going to get your leg broken, you're going to get your ankle twisted, you're going to go to the ground regardless, and you're going to be injured when you go to the ground. So please throw that out of your head. Don't believe in this nonsense about never go to the ground. We should never say never in the first place. But if you have to go down to the ground, now you want to keep two things in mind. One, you want to learn how to move on the ground. You want to learn how to not just defend on the ground. You want to learn how to get up efficiently. You want to learn how to deliver massive amount of damage on the ground if you do go to the ground. And you want to keep it in your head that you're not going to stay on the ground. So it is okay to go to the ground, but you want to go down, do your thing, deliver whatever damage you can, get back up, get ready to run away or fight some more. Don't stay down there. Okay? We see the other end of the spectrum. some wrestlers and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, they want to stay on the ground. Well, that's okay if it's one-on-one. But you gotta remember the guy you run into at the bar may have friends, and that those friends may not be too nice or too honorable. While you're on the ground, someone may be coming towards you with a bar stool in their hand. And believe me, you don't want to deal with a bar stool while you're on the ground. So, number one, do not go to the ground, never go to the ground. Cast that out of your head. Okay? Not true. Totally not true. Not practical. Very dangerous. Number two, and I am a little bit guilty of this one myself when I'm training my students. The idea of never step back, never stepping back, never backing away. Again, this is self-defense. This is not MMA championship. This is not boxing championship. This is not professional martial art championship we're talking about. Obviously, in those championships, I would say, yeah, don't back away. No. But in self-defense, if your whole idea is you want to be like a human juggernaut, you want to be this human wall, just stand here and soaking up the punishment and not stepping back, you're going to end up getting hurt. Okay? 400 pounds, again with that, 400 pound kickboxer coming at you, 400 pound professional boxer coming at you, you are stepping back. Okay? If you don't step back, you end up getting injured a lot worse. Now, I will maintain that stepping to the side, ducking down, whatever, is always better than stepping back. But there are times you have to step back. I step back all the time when I am sparring, fighting, whatever. But here's the thing. You never want to step back with the express purpose of retreating. This is a little bit more complicated to wrap our head around. But when you step back, you don't want to use it as a retreat. If in your head you're thinking, oh my God, this guy's coming at me, I have to step back. No, no, that's a nay, nay, okay? Big guy coming at you, small guy coming at you, guy with a knife coming at you, stepping back because you're scared, stepping back because you have no other alternative, not good, not good at all. However, if my whole thing is not retreat, if my whole thing is that I know there's something beside me that I can get a hold of, someone charging at me with a knife, rather than standing my ground or circling and risk getting cut, I step back and grab this cage, cat carrier right there. I step back with the express purpose of grabbing this and either throw it at them to distract them or to block whatever knife attack they're using. That is a totally different mentality because I'm stepping back with a plan in mind. I'm not stepping back in panic. I am stepping back tactically. It's part of my tactic. This is Tactical Tuesday. So rather than saying never stepping back, we should say never retreat in panic, never retreat in fear. But stepping back, perfectly okay, especially if I'm stepping back so I can access whatever tool I have in my pocket, or I'm stepping back to grab something off the ground. I'm stepping back to set up my kick. Okay? Let's say I'm standing in neutral and someone coming at me. I step back and I bring my leg up, kick. That's not me retreating. That's me stepping back to get my attack off. So, number two, never step back, never retreat. Get that out of your head. As long as you have a good reason, as long as it's part of your plan, step back all you want. Number three, and this is the main topic of the day. It always takes me a while to get to the main topic of the day. But number three, last but not least, a lot of us grow up being told left, right, center, teacher, mother, father, whoever, even after we grow up, we hear this all the time. Don't throw the first punch. When you're in the schoolyard, when you've been bullied for the entire last year, okay? Every time, let's say, every time you come out of the boys' washroom, this bully walk up and punch you in the face. Every time you come out of the boys' washroom, this bully come up, punch you in the face. Next day, you come out of the boys' washroom, the bully come up, punch you in the face. So finally you had enough. You reported it, you've done all you can, nothing has ever been done. Finally, you had enough. So this time, you come out of the boys' washroom and the bully come up to you and you punch him in the face first. And then you get called to the principal's office. You will be the one who get punished. Why? Because adults are lazy. I hate to say this, but adults are lazy. Especially a lot of educators, a lot of people who are in the position of needing to judge who's right, who's wrong. They weren't there. They don't have the time to listen to your story and listen to the bully's story and try to figure out who's right, who's wrong. They go by who throws the first punch. So this is to say a lot of us grow up with this intrinsic idea in our head that if you throw the first punch, that's wrong. Not so in self-defense. In self-defense, there is something called the preemptive strikes. And if you can justify it legally, that's perfectly okay. Let me give you an example. If I'm standing here at the bar and Big Baba come up to me and say, "Hey, your mother is ugly," and I turn around and punch him in the face, is that okay? No, I'll get into trouble for that. I'll get in trouble for that. But let's look at this scenario again. I'm standing at the bar. Big Baba coming from the side, start crowding me, and Big Baba leaned into me, looming over me, and said, "Hey, I'm going to hurt you really, really bad when you get out of here. I have friends outside, we're ready, and you come out, we are going to mess you up." And I turn around and hit him in the face. Is that okay? Sure. He's bigger than me. He's crowding me. He's intimidating me with his physical presence, and he told me that he's going to hurt me. Good enough. That's good enough in court. Okay? Maybe I'll get a little bit of a warning from the court, but in this case, I have ample justification to throw that first punch. So don't always get. I see a lot of martial artists who try to get into a self-defense category, or martial artists who try to use their martial art in self-defense. They get into trouble either by moving too soon. Okay, they attack the person when the person only taunting them. That's no good. Or they get really hurt in a fight because they move too slow. They move too late because when the person is taunting them and threatening them, the martial artist doesn't know, okay, when can I move? Should I let them throw the first punch before I move? By the time they throw the first punch, it's too late. So this is the bottom line. If they're taunting you, ignore them, okay? Walk away. If they're threatening you and you have sufficient reason to believe that they have the means, they have the reason to carry out the threat, preemptive strike. Okay? Hit them first, deal with the court later. You don't want what this is the reason why we don't want to get hit first. This is not like 100% scientific, but this is very accurate to what usually happens. Let's say me, Johnny Tiger, standing here in my tip-top condition. I'm not drunk. I'm not high. I don't usually get high anyway. I don't usually get drunk either. But I'm not drunk. I'm not high. I'm not tired. I'm not injured. I'm in 100% condition. If I wait here for Big Baba to throw that first punch, and he lands that first punch to my jaw, or to my chest, or to my belly, now I am down to 60% effectiveness. Maybe if I get angry, I get back to 100% effectiveness. But that's really hard to say. I mean, we also have to remember Big Baba is bigger than me. This is a 400-pound boxer, 400-pound kickboxer, whatever, okay? He hit me that first time. My effectiveness is almost cut in half. And there's going to be, even for someone like me who is used to getting hit, there's going to be a 0.2, 0.3 second lag. It's going to shock my system. So this is not like someone punch me and immediately go into action. It never works that way, right? It's usually someone punch you and then you into action. So there's like punch and then you retaliate. There's a pause. Okay? So while you're pausing, while your system is trying to come back online, this person smack you again, right? You are already reduced down to 60% effectiveness. They smack you again. This time it's going to be worse. Now you're down to 30%, and then they kick you or shove you, and you stumble back into the wall. Now you're down to 10% effectiveness. No matter how angry you get, trying to come back to 100% from 10% is hard. Now you're injured. Now your system's all shocked to hell. You are going to have a hard time surviving this one. This is why it's so important to throw that nonsense out of your head. Don't wait for them to hit you first. If you believe it's coming, then let them have it first. Okay? Now, before we go, I want to show you guys the art of preemptive strike. Because how this look when you get to court is going to be very important, right? If, let's say there's people everywhere, let's say we're at a pub, at a bar, people everywhere, camera somewhere on the wall, Big Baba crowding me in and maybe jostling me, shoving me against the wall a little bit, and I turn around and boom into the face. Like I said, I should be able to get off on that in court. I should be able to justify this. But it still looked really bad for me because I intentionally turned around and punched him in the face, right? But if we change this up, Big Baba jostling in from my right side, okay, shoving me against the wall. Let's say I have my beer in my right hand. Actually, let me actually grab a glass so you guys can see it. Coffee cup, okay? We won't do beer, we'll do coffee cup. Coffee cup in my right hand. Big Baba is really threatening me, really crowding me, threatening me with his words, his presence, and try to shove me, rather than turning around and punch him like a trained fighter would. Okay? What about if I just stagger a little bit? And as I'm staggering, my right hand whip up and around with the coffee cup right into the face. Right? Whoa! Oh, take it easy. I don't want to fight. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just cased your face in with a coffee cup. You okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Huh? Now, catching that on camera, I can even explain that to be accidental. And I've inflicted a lot of damage, not just with my fist, but with a solid coffee mug. So when you go into your preemptive strike, it is important to think more about how you can do this without looking like you are the bad guy, rather than should you let them hit you first before you hit them so you don't look like the bad guy. Another example, okay, one more example before we go. Let's say someone come and push me. Let's say when I'm getting into an argument with somebody, and someone shoved me back. Right? They put their hand on my chest and shove me back. This happens all the time, right? Right? They shove me back, and then I slam into the wall, and then I come off the wall and punch them in the face. No good. Okay? Even though they shoved me first, but if I punch them so hard I break their face, I still can get into trouble with the legal system. Okay? But if they shove me and while I'm staggering back, my foot come up, right? They shove me, boom, huh? Oh, I'm sorry, I just kicked you in the groin. I'm sorry. Well, you shouldn't have shoved me in the first place, but I'm sorry, that wasn't intentional. My foot just does that when I'm falling back, huh? Or if someone's shoving me, and rather than letting them shove me back, I step to the side and oh my God, I'm sorry, I just hit you in the groin. Oh, I'm sorry, right? So this is kind of weird to say, but when you are in a self-defense situation, you're going to hear me say this again next episode when we talk about speed. When you are dealing with preemptive strike, you want to take a lot of the proper techniques you learn, no matter you learn taekwondo, judo, karate, boxing, kickboxing, sambo, whatever. You want to take those proper techniques and throw them out of your head. Because if you come around and you throw the first punch and you look like a trained fighter, that doesn't look very good on video. But if you can manage to make this look accidental, okay, you trip over and hit the guy in the groin, or you fall back and stomp on the guy's shin by accident, or you just moved your arm too fast and your coffee cup hit the guy. Well, too bad. Sorry, didn't mean to do it. So, just to recap, three things people tell you about fighting that are nonsense. Number one, never go to the ground. Number two, never stepping back. Number three, don't be the one who throws the first punch. All these three things are nonsense. Keep them out of your head for optimal chances in situations where you are trying to defend yourself. Thank you for checking out today's Tactical Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday. For now, have a good night.